Hi everyone, my name is Tai. Welcome to this session, and I'm going to share with you Think Like a Boss, Start from Excel. Some people may be start thinking, is this a myth that you're able to think like a boss just with Excel? I want to share this true story with you. And I know this customer, and one of the staff is, her name is Rachel. Rachel, she is very hardworking and she do a lot of works and whenever the boss wanted her to do. And one fine day, when I sit beside her just to help her to do some work for her reporting, then at that moment, the question she asked, the thing she wanted to do is exactly like her boss. And when I look at her, hey Rachel, do you know the question you have just asked? It's exactly like your boss. Then she was puzzled and she was amazed as well. How can that be possible? Because in the office, she is very low profile, and if let's say she is not making any voices or any noises, most likely you will not notice she is there. So this is the power of using Excel, and so that you are able to think like a boss. The meaning of the boss, it could be you are designing the report or doing the things for your own business, or you are guiding your team to do for you. Or you could do it for your own real boss, maybe your manager, your supervisor, maybe your management. All these are possible. So let's see what are the things we can think like a boss. This is a very simple formula. I summarize it to be a 3 plus 1. It's very simple to follow. I hope this session will be benefiting to you so that whenever you are using Excel, you will see things very, very differently. So let's see what does it mean by 3 plus 1. The first one is see the boss within you. The second one, you want to know what is the focus of the bosses, and you want to aware their priority. The plus 1, it means you want to co-create the report or the things you want to do with the boss. So let's see. The first one is to see the boss in you. The boss here is an acronym. It means believe there's a just believe it, there's a possibility within you, and obtain the details that you need to make the decision, and you want to seek the insight. That means what are the pattern, what are the things you are is able to make you a better decision maker, and search for the options available before you make the real decision. So now we know the boss, everyone has a boss within. And the next one, you want to know the boss focus. Depending on the bosses, different type of bosses and different role as well, generally there are two main focuses. The first one is they want to save money, and the second one is they want to make more money. No right, no wrong, it's just a different focus. And depending on their needs, you can adjust the reporting or adjust the message you want to use, and so that you are able to see the things you are looking for. Either you want to save more money or make more money. Some people say, why not both? Yes, there's a possibility for that as well. So this is the point number 2. Let's see the point number 3. You want to aware the boss priority. When the boss, they want to read the report, they want to do the analysis, they have a limited of time. The time could be from very little to a lot of time, and sometimes with the details as well. The details could be from very little to a lot of details. Depending on where they are at that specific moment or their needs as well, you can change it differently. Example, this boss, they have a lot of details, they need a lot of details, and they have a lot of time. So that's the time you can consider to do a table for them so that they are able to find the details they are looking for. It's very interesting how you're able to see that. And if let's say they want more details, just they don't have much of the time, you can use something called Spark line to summarize it. Instead of using a table, you can show it in the Spark line. If the boss, they have more time but they still need a lesser details, maybe you can summarize that further to become a monthly product sales or the summary. Just go for monthly. If the boss is very busy and they just need a big picture and they have not enough time, they have a very little time and they just need the least information. So that's a big number, the total of all. So this is how you're able to structure the whole thing. And let's see how we're able to put this into action using Excel. So let me switch it to my Excel file. So this, the first one is a table. Typically, you may get the data something like this. Let me remove the total, so later I can use something else. I have the data like this one. It's not formatted, it's not easy to read, and I want to turn into a structure like this one. And therefore, it's easier to read and it's much more meaningful as well. So therefore, I want to go to the home. Inside home, going towards format as table. Inside here, you can have a lot of options for you to choose. The things I'm going to look for is the mediums for the green. When I tick on this one, and you will say it will create a table, I will just create OK. And I want to turn off the filter so it doesn't have a drop down filter. And I want to have a total row. So total row is towards the end. And currently also only has one. I want to drag it using a fill handle, drag it towards right side, and everything is done. And this is good, and I want to make it even better just by having 1,000 separator. First, I will select all of them. Then I will go to home, then go to cell styles. Inside cell style, there's one of them, it says comma, with a square bracket, 0, that means without decimal. And of course, I need to do some adjustment on the column width so that it fits nicely. Okay, almost there. And this kind of report or this kind of table is meaningful, and it just some have ambiguity to make it even better. That will be the title. So let me show the title. I want to type this is the monthly sales performance. And I want to have a color with that. The easy thing is, again, go to home, then cell styles. So I just go to heading, so you can see it's formatted. Perhaps you want to have a quick summary to summarize what does that mean. So I would say this is a positive increase of monthly sales. Yeah, so whoever reads the table, they can know the overall, the big picture. And whenever you're using a table, I want you to include the source so that whoever they want to double check on the source, they want to get more details, they can just go for that. Perhaps this is the data I retrieve from the internal invoice system. So I can just type the source, internal invoice system. Once I'm done, I just want to have some different color. I want to make it have italic with a gray color. Let's put a light gray, a bit light gray, so that it's not so competing with the rest. So that's right. So I have done convert very simple data or numbers, bunch of numbers into something like this. It's easy to read. This is useful for those they want a lot of details and they have a lot of time to read it. And by adding the title and the source, it makes the thing much more legitimate. And whenever they want to counter check, they can go for that. So this is for the first part. Let's go for second part. What if the person or the boss, they have a bit time and they have lesser time, they want a lot more details as well? I want to summarize this whole thing. Instead of just go for individual table, I could use something called Sparks line. Now I'm going to select the whole bunch of the numbers here. I go to insert. Inside insert, going towards right side, you will see something called column. Click on column. Because this one I have 5 rows, so therefore I will select 5 rows. I just select 5 rows. Later I will move it somewhere else to do some adjustment, and I will just press OK. You can see they convert the whole thing into the column miniature chart like this one. If I change one of them, for example, just for testing, December for the alpha, I change it to the larger number. You can see there's a spike. So that is correct. So let me undo. Okay, now I want to move this to another worksheet to do further formatting. So I can just Ctrl X to cut it and go to the next worksheet. It says Sparks line. I just paste it here. Whenever I paste it here, it looks a bit different than the expected result like this picture. So I want to highlight the highest amongst all in a different color, and I want to make sure all of them they have the same height, so that you can see the highest is not necessary in the alpha, is not necessarily same with the Bravo. So this one I want to make sure they are using the same axis. To do so, while this is selected, you can go to Sparks line, then axis. Inside axis, you can choose you want to same for all Sparks line, and go to axis. Same for all sparks line for the vertical and horizontal axis, the maximum and minimum. Yep, you can see the whole thing changes. And in order to change the style here, I just click and can choose one of them. Perhaps I choose a lighter green. And I want to really stand out the highest amongst all. In the marker color, I can click. Then you can see there's something called high point. You can choose a stronger green. So let me zoom out. Okay, let me do this. Higher green. Spotlight color. Okay, this is the one. I need to have a high point. Make sure the sparks line, I want to take the high point so it shows the highest amongst all. So this is how we are able to get it. And I want to add something, just the outline. When this is selected, I can go and format cell. The shortcut key is Control number 1. Control number 1, you go to borders, choose a bit light gray. I want to use as outline and for the inside as well. Yep. And you can increase the height of the row, or you can increase the width of the column. So this is how you're able to adjust the size of it. Let me undo. And now I'm happy with this result. And this is how you're able to change report that shows the bosses. They want more details, but they don't have much of the time. They can see, oh, this is alpha, the highest. And meanwhile, towards the end of the year, everyone is doing better and better. So this is something you could consider. And meanwhile, for some bosses, they have they have lesser time, but they want some more details. So therefore, they can use something like chart. Instead of typical chart, I want to have something a bit stand out. That means whenever there's a highest, I want to make this stand out. And when the data changes, the highest will change as well. I want to make it dynamic. So this is achievable using a simple formula. So I have the numbers for the alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, and Echo. I want to know the highest. So I will use a simple formula. So this formula is applicable for all Excel version, no matter what's the Excel version you're using. I just type equal if I press a tab key to autocomplete. Let me zoom in. If this is equal to a large, press tab key. Large means the highest or the maximum. You can do so as well. Select the whole thing and press F4 to lock the range. And comma number 1, I want to get the largest. Close parenthesis. And of course, I'm using large. Is next time you want to go for the top 3, you can adjust this one a little bit of the formula. And comma whenever it's the largest or the maximum, so I will get the number. Comma, if this is not the largest, I want to show NA. Whenever we are using NA, the chart will not show anything on that. Just NA, press tab key, close parenthesis, and enter. And alpha is not the largest, so therefore it's NA. I double click on the field handle to copy down, and this is the largest. And meanwhile, for the rest, I want to get the number as well. So I've just used another formula. Equal if tab key is NA, tab key, and the particular cell, if the highest is NA, close parenthesis, I want to get the number from sales. I will get from sales. Otherwise, I want to show NA. Tab key, close parenthesis, enter. So I have this, and I can just double click. You can notice they are mutually exclusive. That means whenever it's the highest, the others, it will show NA. Whenever there are others, it will show NA for the highest. Yep, so this report, these are data we want to have, and now I want to produce this kind of chart with a very simple step. First, I will select here, and I want to quickly go and create a default chart by pressing a shortcut key, alternate F1. Alt F1 allows me to create a chart like this one. And I want to do some adjustment here. First, click on the blue color. You can see the sales is selected. This is the data series I don't want to be included, so therefore I press delete key. It's removed. And meanwhile, the rest, this is for the others. And I want to use a light green. So I can go to Format. Inside Format, Shape Field, I can use a light green. Maybe I want to use a different lighter green. And meanwhile, for this one, the highest, you can see this is selected for the highest. I want to use the color for the dark green and change the title. This is Product Sales. And I want to make it bold. I make it bold. I change the color to black. Yes, almost done. And I want to add a series. I want to add the data label. I just click on the plus sign. So there's something called data label. That is good. Whenever the data label is added, I can remove the axis. I can remove the grid line. I also can remove the legend. So it makes the chart much more clean and nicer. And I want to increase the width as well. And this is not at the center. So I need to select one of the column, press Control number 1. Control number 1 allows us to do the formatting. Inside here, the series overlap, I want to make them as 100% so that they are overlapping each other. So they will be appears in center. The gap width, I want to reduce the gap width so that it appears a bit larger. Maybe I want to make it a bit lesser. Yep, so this is what I have. And I want to make this the highest, make it bold. I make it bold. And I want to increase the size as well. I want to make it black. The rest, I'm okay with that. Let's do a simple check with this. If let's say I change one of the numbers, example Bravo, I change to 99999, enter. You can see the Bravo will get updated. So let me undo. So this chart is very useful to show to the bosses that they want to have a little bit more details, but they don't have much time to read. This is a very powerful way to do it. Let's go to the next one. Sometimes the boss, they say, just give me a big number. How's the sales like? So this is a last option you can consider. This numbers looks very simple, and I want to make it easier to read because the boss, they don't have much time. They just need a big number. Showing a lot of these kind of numbers is not meaningful. I want to convert the number to be something like this. It's 123.46 M. So I want to appear something like this. So therefore, when this is selected, I want to go to Format Cell. I can press Control number 1. Control number 1, I can go to Number. Then go to Custom. Inside Custom, these are things you need to type. Just open square bracket. Greater than or equal to 1 million. That's 1. And 6 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Close square bracket. And you just key in the formatting. Will be hashtag, comma, hashtag, hash 0.00. That means it has 2 decimal points. And because this is a million, so I will have a 2,000 separator in the number. So I just comma, comma. You can see the numbers appears, changes in the sample. Put the space, double quote M, put the capital M, double quote. So this is the first part. What if the number is less than a million? So I want to comma. So the next part is for lesser than a million. Open square bracket, lesser than a million. So number 1 and 6 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Close square bracket. 0.00, comma. Because for 1,000, so there only has a 1,000 separator. And put a space, double quote, K, double quote. So this is done. I can zoom out and press OK. Yep, this is done. I can do some adjustment on the font. I can make it bold, make it center, middle. I can make it even larger. So this is how we are able to get the number in this way. What if the number changes to 1,000? Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I press enter. You can see it changes from M, million, to 1,000 in K. So this is very simple how you're able to get this. By using this kind of simple method, you are able to show the different similar results, similar data in a different way to suit your boss needs. And this is how you're able to think like a boss. And let's go back to our slide here. Yeah, so what we have covered. So we want to see the boss within you, and everything is possible, and know the focus of the boss. Either they want to save money or they want to make money. And they want to aware the boss priority in terms of the time and the details they have in terms of reading the report. And ultimately, this is the extra one. You want to create with the boss. That means whenever we want to create the reports, rather than have everything within our own mind, we want to involve our bosses or whoever going to read the report. If you are doing the report for your own self, you can ask for your colleague or you can ask your partner to get some feedback. And you want to share the ownership so that they are able to feel much more involved, and they want to see the report to be successful. and be time conscious whenever you are doing this one, because you want to treasure their time, and give option and suggestion whenever you have this thing, and you are able to give them which one is better. Later I'll show you some sample, and be open-minded to get feedback. So let's dive in to Excel file again. Just go back towards the chart just now, the chart. Maybe I have one option beside doing this one. I want to have another option. Perhaps I want to use maybe column chart. I select this one. Maybe pie chart. I can go to insert, and I want to go to create a pie chart. Okay, I go to, when the pie chart is selected, I want to see what the options are available. Choose a layout, and this is first option. Maybe you want to duplicate this one by pressing Ctrl D. Ctrl D allows you to duplicate, and you can move it towards the side. You can change chart type. Maybe I want to use a 3D chart. I know 3D chart is not advisable. Maybe I don't want to change. I change my mind. If I go to bar chart, double click. So this is the second one. And maybe I want to duplicate again. I press Ctrl D, and let me drag it down. And I want to use a different option here. Change chart type. Maybe I want to use area chart. Area chart. Okay. And I want another way to duplicate the chart is to drag and drop towards the next one while holding the Control key. And you can go and change chart type as well. Maybe the last one I want to use radar. Okay, no right, no wrong. It's just for experiment. Radar for this one. Okay, I'm done with this, and I can zoom out with this way, and I can present this one to the bosses, or you can see this one with a fresh pair of eyes and looking. Is there anything you like and anything you want to be improved? Perhaps I like the numbers here. I don't like this one, and this radar chart is too complex. So this one, it gives you some understanding. Yeah. So this is what we have learned about how to think like a boss. Just a quick recap of what we have learned. See the boss within you. Know the boss focus. Either they want to make money or you want to save money, and you want to aware their priority, the details of information they need, and the time they have to read that. And ultimately, you want to co-create with your boss. So I hope this one benefit to you, and hopefully you are able to share success story whenever this one open up your mind. If you feel you want to get connected with me, you can find me in the LinkedIn, or you can search me in the YouTube as well. With that, take care everyone. I hope I can receive your success story in the sooner future.